Hello guys and welcome to the Fortnite School. This is your new channel where we will break down all the tips, tricks and trends analyses from the Fortnite competitive scene with a little look at some of the more casual stuff. Today we are looking at a mongrel clip.
Good sense.
Does it exist? How do you get it? And most importantly, what is it? This weekend we had a FNCS, that is the Fortnite Champions Series. This was a duo competition. This gives us a perfect opportunity to see what sensitivity the pros used to get the top spots in the scoreboard. So across all the pros, taking the top 10 from what I see as the four main regions, notable exclusions, and that is because they are controller on PC players and therefore do not use a mouse and keyboard sensitivity. A couple of people that we could not track down the sensitivities they use because it is not very well publicized. They may be a new up and coming player. If you do know them, please let me know in the chat and let me know what DPI and sensitivity in game they use, and I can add them to future analyses. Now moving on to the results, the average EDPI of the professional players, the sense that you need to use if you're going to become a professional player, is 58 EDPI. Now on to the most frequently used sensitivity, the one that was represented the highest degree, the mode. So the most often used sensitivity amongst the pros they've scored in the top 10s in their respective regions this weekend was 45 to 49. That's 7 people in total used that. The next nearest range was 40 to 44. That's 6. And then there after that, only one person in each of the categories afterwards. So you can see on the screen now that there, if you want to have a look for yourself, it's worth noting that the 55 to 59 region only had one person actually using that sensitivity. So it might be important that you actually need to use 45 to 49, as that was the most often used sensitivity. And in fact, the 58 DPI that is the average across all the players may not actually transfer to being a successful DPI, or it may be the case that you are best players bang smack in the middle of this entire set of players, the 58 DPI average. But you have to bear in mind that it may also come down to some kind of variation in wrist aim or arm aim, and 58 might actually put it in a weird no man's land where you're neither wrist aiming or arm aiming, so you might actually be better on one side of it or the other, and the data suggests that might be the 45 to 49 region. The averages, if you wonder what 58 EDPI does actually look like, that is, if you're on the 400 DPI, you'd be using a 14% in-game sense. 800 DPI will be a 7.25, 1200 DPI will be 4.83 in-game sense, 1600 would be 3.63, and a 2000 DPI would equate to somewhat a 2.9% in-game sensitivity. So it is important to look at, is this the god tier sense, 58 EDPI? It will change the DPI, make you a god? Well, probably not, but it may well help looking at the data. The fact that all these pros are using a very consistent sensitivity has to mean something. There is a couple of very high outliers, namely Mr. Savage, as usual, Benji Fishy, and 4DR Storm. They do actually pull the data sets up quite a lot. They are way out of the range compared to the other people. There's not many people that come far under the range of the average DPIs, or the most often used. Falconer is the lowest data point with 32 EDPI. The highest, again, is Mr. Savage, 117 DPI, and that will be no surprise to anybody because he is usually at least in the top 3 highest sensitivities across all qualified pros for all tournaments. Take a look at this comparison to the World Cup sensitivities. You see that Mr. Savage has now actually dropped his EDPI since then, and it could just be coincidence, but ever since he has, it might explain for why he is now currently the number 1 in the world power ranking due to his recent LAN experience and popping off at Anaheim. It should be taken into account that he is currently number 1 in that sense. He is way above the range, but generally speaking, if you want to go pro, the sensitivity used is probably 45 to 49 EDPI or 58 EDPI, depending on whether you go for the average across all the pros or the one that's most commonly used. So ever since Season 2, Chapter 2 especially, even Chapter 1, there has been an increased movement to raise your sensitivity. Videos from popular influencers like Jaren, shout out to my boy Jaren, he releases some brilliant content, and I do actually agree with his video in principle. I have increased my sensitivity as well, coincidentally, around the same time. I reached the same conclusion. Way more actions needed to be performed at a faster pace in Fortnite now, and the box fighting meta just lends to a higher sense to make those quick flicks and 180s within a box and fast edits But, however, it has driven a lot of people to increase their sensitivity, and whereas this could still be the case, as Beneficia and Mr. Savage are beasts on that sensitivity and very high up there in the lists, if not the top in the world. I do believe Beneficia is possibly the best player right now. Mr. Savage is officially the best player based on recent LAN experience, so take that into account. However, despite all this, the predominant average is still a low sensitivity. Most representative pros who have proven at the highest level, and this is proven, this is not just I think this player is the best in the world. You're only as good as your last tournament, and right now these are the best players in the world, and this is the sensitivity that they are using. So it stands to reason that you might need to or want to use this sensitivity in order to perform well. What do you think, guys? Let me know in the chat. Invite in the comment section to let me know what you think of all this. Will you be switching your sensitivity now based on this information? And let me know what else you would like me to look at. Please like, share, and subscribe to see future content of this nature, and we will try pump out the daily uploads to help you get better and better and increase your chance of winning in the next FNCS week. There is a month long of duo cash cups every single day now. There is no better time to make that grind, and little information like this could be the difference. And if you do comment in the chat of what you would like to see us analyse next time, we may well pick that to choose for the next video. Please like and subscribe if you've enjoyed this content. It takes a long time to make these videos and do the analyses, so every little helps. Every like and subscribe that you do give this video will help us to make more content like this in the future. You learn, we learn. So if you have enjoyed it, thank you very much for staying till the end of the video. Peace.